Good happy Tuesday evening, April 12, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Tuesday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, a strange wife of Harmony Montgomery's father faces new charges. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Qué buena casa de verbo. Vamos. Now I'm here. Now you're here.
We need to have better communication between the states so we don't have another incident like Harmony Montgomery get away from us.
In 2019, a Massachusetts judge granted full legal custody of Harmony Montgomery to her father in New Hampshire. The swift decision rendered DCYF's effort to conduct a home study moot.
Now we don't know where this little girl is, and we should be doing everything in our power to make sure this never happens again.
The stunning realization announced by police on New Year's Eve last year that Harmony had not been seen in 2 years exposed weaknesses in the Interstate Compact Agreement.
So what's happened in the last 2 years? Fair question, right? That's why I'm here today, because we need assistance, we need help.
State lawmakers are working to make a change right now, but interstate compacts require 35 states to agree before becoming effective. So an amendment was introduced in committee that would mandate a home study for any New Hampshire foster child being placed in foster care across state lines. The amendment would be effective immediately and not have to wait for 35 states to agree.
That child's safe, that child's not going to get lost in the system somewhere because they've moved across state lines.
The amendment was sent to subcommittee this afternoon. Governor Sununu sent a letter urging support of this amendment. We're live in Concord this evening. Amy Cavino, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Hopkinton woman accused of breaking into neighbor's home, threatening resident with knife. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hey neighbor, together we've got this. With residential lenders who make decisions locally and mortgage and home equity solutions just right for you. Get to know your local banker. Get to know Profile Bank. Profilebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sue Ellen Herrick is currently being held at the Merrimack County Jail. The indictment says she did unlawfully enter the home of SF armed with at least one knife and held the knife to the body of SF and yelled, "Get your sons down here. I want to kill them," adding, "If I have to, I will kill you." The attack allegedly happened on Burnham Intervale Road in Hopkinton last December 27th, around 2:30 in the morning. The affidavit says the victim struggled with Herrick and was able to find a paper towel holder and strike Sue Ellen over the head, after which Herrick left the woman's home. Herrick was located just down the road, bleeding heavily from the face and forehead. The affidavit says there was the odor of an alcoholic beverage on her breath and white powder under her nostrils. Now, Herrick has been indicted on the charge of attempted homicide.
If homicide is treated as synonymous with the term murder, not sure that it is, but if it is, the maximum penalty would be life. There is no mandatory minimum.
Herrick also faces charges of assault, criminal threatening, reckless conduct, and burglary.
At this point, there are 2 Superior Court cases and a related circuit court case.
That circuit court case has to do with Herrick's alleged grab of a corrections officer at the Merrimack County Jail and an attempted escape.
Now, another hearing will be held in May with a competency hearing scheduled for July. Ray Brewer, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. House Republicans seek to repeal Governor Sununu's paid family leave program. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right. Bring home the Kubota L2501 tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months.
Where best means second to none. MD.
When the legislature approved Governor Chris Sununu's paid family leave program last year, many Republicans were collectively holding their nose, saying it was the governor's priority in a deal that got the state budget across the finish line.
It was dramatically more important to him than to the House.
Now, some House Republicans want to undo that deal and repeal the paid leave system that is supposed to be up and running by the beginning of 2023.
This will develop into a program for state employees. Your town employees are going to start asking for it. They're going to want taxpayers to pay for it.
Sununu's program will offer 6 weeks of leave at 60% of salary. The plan starts with the enrollment of 10,000 state employees.
It should be in the range of about $2 million to pay for the benefit for state employees, which is the foundation of the risk pool by which we can then offer the opportunity for businesses and individuals to join the program on a voluntary basis.
Democrats are largely staying out of this GOP debate as it reaches the state Senate. They're already on record as saying they don't believe this particular paid leave program provides enough of a benefit to enough people. As far as the concerns over the price tag, Governor Sununu disagrees with his fellow Republicans who believe costs will balloon and eventually overburden taxpayers.
Absolutely not true. No, look, we have benefits for our state employees right now. This is an added benefit onto that package at very, very low cost, frankly. But everyone else in the state gets to take the opportunity to get those low premiums if they want to buy into this insurance plan. If it's not for them, it's not for them. You don't have to buy a thing and nothing comes out of your paycheck.
In Concord, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Tuesday marks 10 years since Greenland Police Chief's line of duty death. Chief Michael Maloney shot killed April 12, 2012. Tuesday marks 10 years since Greenland Police Chief Michael Maloney was shot and killed in the line of duty. On April 12, 2012, the Attorney General's Drug Task Force asked for backup to serve a warrant to suspected drug dealer in Greenland. With just 8 days until his retirement, Maloney answered what would be his final call. In a hail of bullets, 4 officers were shot. Maloney dragged one officer to safety, but moments later he was shot and killed as he was taking cover behind his cruiser. The suspected drug dealer later turned the gun on his girlfriend and then himself. Maloney was honored for his brave actions the night he died, including multiple medals of honor from several prominent organizations. The chief's legacy lives on today. The Michael Maloney Memorial Fund provides charitable services to the region's first responders. A special graffiti the PD event is being held during the day in Greenland. Visitors can write notes of memories on a day of remembrance in the town. Take a look right here. 29 hurt in NYC subway shooting. Gun jam may have saved lives. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC 7NY.
Attack, but we're going to begin with where the investigation stands right now. Eyewitness News reporter Mike Barnes live at Sunset Park with the very latest. Mike.
David and Sandra, that massive manhunt continues right now. I can tell you, according to police, they believe the shooter's gun jammed, likely saving more people from getting shot. Here's what we know. They have discovered the handgun in the subway station, as well as 3 extended magazines. One found jammed in that gun, the other in a backpack, and one on the floor of the station. Also, multiple smoke devices were discovered in the subway station, as well as commercial-grade fireworks. Now, unfortunately, according to what we're hearing, the cameras in the subway station were not working at the time of the shooting. However, a bystander was able to capture an image of the shooter, and that image is now being circulated across the city as this manhunt continues right now. As the Manhattan-bound N train pulled into the 25th Street station in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, smoke and screams poured from a car. Passengers, some shot, all shocked, staggered, or sprinted onto the platform after a gunman unleashed a barrage of bullets during rush hour.
By an individual so cold-hearted and depraved of heart that they had no caring about the individuals that they assaulted as they simply went about their daily lives.
We're told the shooting began at the previous stop, 36th Street, where police say the man on the train wearing a green construction vest started mumbling.
The individual on that train donned what appeared to be a gas mask. He then took a canister out of his bag and opened it. The train at that time began to fill with smoke. He then opened fire, striking multiple people on the subway and in the platform.
The MTA says the conductor left the station quickly to save more passengers from becoming more targets. Jonathan, a sophomore at Brooklyn Tech, was on the train headed to school.
I was on the train. I wasn't where it happened, but I was a few carts down, and the train conductor told everyone to get on the train, and I was scared.
Sources say the shooter's gun jammed before he escaped the grisly scene. Commuters turned into medics rushing to help fellow New Yorkers, bleeding on the car and on the platform.
On 9/11, I stood on 4th Avenue and watched people, New Yorkers, come back from that tragedy. And I thought I watched New Yorkers help each other and storekeepers walk out and give people water. That was the same thing we saw on the platform today.
Schools in the area issued a shelter-in-place order.
I was receiving calls from my mother, my sisters, and then community residents. I started sending out information to make sure that everyone was okay.
Victims rushed to area hospital. And so the mayor also added that more police are being flooded into the subway system as we now enter the rush hour evening commute. Meantime, police have also been aware of this U-Haul that has been sent out for law enforcement in the city to be aware of what could be possibly linked to this shooting. Again, they don't know if the U-Haul is parked somewhere or it is still on the move with the shooter inside.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Viral video of driverless car fleeing police traffic stop. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
With PerformYard, performance management is easy for everyone. You get the features to execute your...
The video of a driverless car being pulled over by police in San Francisco. The robo-taxi first stops, then suddenly pulls away. Our transportation correspondent, Gio Benitez, joins with more. Good morning, Gio.
Hey,
Robin, good morning. This was supposed to be just like any other traffic stop. A car driving at night had its headlights off, so naturally police pulled that car over. Well, what happens next had everyone scratching their heads. This morning, a sign of the times captured on camera. At first, it looks like a normal traffic stop until...
Ain't nobody in it.
Watch closely as police look for a driver or any sign of human life in the car, but it turns out it's a driverless car, fully autonomous. Now watch as the officer steps away. The car appears to drive off, crossing an intersection before stopping again. Police were able to reach crews, which manually took control of the car that's being used in a test of a driverless rideshare program in San Francisco. Crews telling ABC News the car was not trying to speed off, but that our AV yielded to the police vehicle, then pulled over to the nearest safe location for the traffic stop as intended. An officer contacted Cruise personnel, and no citation was issued.
The reason there are so few of these companies and vehicles on the road is because this technology has a lot going on, and so controlling for the environment is just one thing, and then controlling for just the other roadway users is a whole nother game.
Yeah, it is just the beginning for this technology. Right now, that company, Cruise, is only testing these cars in San Francisco. Guys. All right, Gio, thank you. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening. Good night and goodbye.